I spent 3 years thinking about an idea I had, but being so afraid to get started with it. Literally going in circles. I would buy domain names, I would set up websites, I would let them gather dust. Buy domain names, set up websites, let them gather dust. This went on and on and on for 3 years because I had the most amount of imposter syndrome around putting it out there. I was afraid that people would judge me, what would people say? People who I went to school with that I didn't even see anymore, like what would they think of me? Would they be like, what the hell is she doing? Who is she to do that? I felt like I wasn't qualified enough. Who was I to do this? I'm not good enough. Why would anyone listen to me on this? All of those things. And this is something that I feel like 99% of us struggle with. Getting it in our own way, overthinking everything. And we can get stuck there for such a long time. Like for me, I got stuck there for 3 blooming years going round in circles. I want to talk about this and share my own experiences of how I actually finally kicked myself out of that phase and actually got on with my idea so that I could create that success. Back in 2008, I had been running my first business, which was reselling phone unlock codes for a few years. It'd been going really well, but I'd realised I felt so isolated and lonely, and I really wanted to find other women I could connect with. I wanted to do something that was more inspiring. I had this idea bubbling up inside of me, and I could feel it under the surface. I felt like I wanted my voice to like burst out of me, and I wanted to share it, but at the same time, I just felt like, who am I to share this? Who am I to do this? I got really excited, went and bought a domain name, started setting up a website, because I'd figured out how to do that with my first business, and then I just didn't know what to do after that. I was starting to overthink everything. I kept thinking about this idea, and I bought another domain name. I came up with a different name for it, created a different website, and again I just completely stalled. Again, it really came back to this fear of being judged and what would people think and who am I to do this, and I need more qualifications. For me at the time, I felt like I'm way too young to be doing something like this. Who's ever going to listen to me? And the more I put it off, the more I felt like the idea was like knocking at me, like, hello, you need to do something with me, like, hello, I'm still here. This feeling just bubbling up inside, you know you need to do something, and it's creating a level of anxiety because the more you try and ignore it and put it off, the louder and louder it gets, the more uncomfortable you start to feel, like you just can't keep ignoring it. But then, at the beginning of 2011, something happened for me. So I was rereading a book called The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. And in this book, he has such a powerful exercise. So basically, he gets you to close your eyes and imagine that you are walking into a room, and then sat in the room are your friends and family. And as you walk down the center of the room, you see a box. And as you get to the front of the room, you realize you're in the box and it's your funeral. And he gets you to think about, what kind of life did I live? What kind of things did I achieve? What kind of person was I? When I went through and asked myself those questions, I realized I am not being who I want to be. I am not living the life I want to be living, and I am not achieving the things I want to be achieving. And in that moment, I realized something needs to change. I realized the only way my life is going to change is if I change. So I decided that I was going to create a little challenge for myself. I called it my Mission Success Challenge, and I literally wanted to see what is going to be possible if I condition myself for success. If I stop with this whole thing of, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to start this idea, I don't know how to start this idea, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. If I stop with those mantras that are getting me nowhere and reprogram myself, what could I actually make happen? Because I was so sick of holding myself back. So I started doing little things, starting with writing down, like, what do I actually want to achieve? What do I want to make of my life? What would I love to do? And then I started to really dive deeper into personal development, feeding my mind with things that were helping me to expand my thinking. I was doing affirmations, paying attention to my thoughts, paying attention to what I was saying, my words. And as I started to make little tweaks, my action then started to change. I just became a different version of me, a much better version of me, I will add. If you are feeling so stuck in your own way and you're so fed up of your own crap, like your own imposter syndrome, you're so fed up of holding yourself back, maybe it's time to start a challenge for yourself. Maybe it's time to go and buy a new notebook and create your own Mission Success Challenge. Crack yourself open, allow yourself to explore the possibilities. What is going to be possible if I can start thinking differently about myself? If I start to tell myself different things, if I stop telling myself this and I start telling myself that, and literally write down all the things you need to stop telling yourself and all the things you want to start telling yourself. Go and put inspirational quotes around everywhere so that your subconscious can consistently see these positive messages and help you to start thinking on that level. go create your own mission success challenge. When you do that, you can become so much more confident in yourself and in what you can make happen. That takes over the fear of being judged, fear of what people will think, fear that I'm not good enough. They all get smaller and smaller and smaller. Probably won't ever go away because mine haven't, but they will start to diminish and they will stop holding you back so much. You live one life. This is the thing I tell myself all the time. We live one life. It's not a dress rehearsal. We don't get to the end of it and do it again. So like when you're sat on your deathbed, like what do you want to look back and say that you did? What would that person be telling you now about what to do? I would have given myself a massive kick up the backside. Really give yourself that challenge to change the way you think and the way you feel so that you can really step into who you need to be courageous, to go after your dreams and create the business and life that you truly want. So in the next episode, I really want to dive deeper into this with you. I want to dive deeper into your ideas and okay, like I can work on my imposter syndrome and getting out of my own way, but then what are the next steps to actually take? And like, how do I actually get clarity around my idea so that I've got that focus so that I can really get going with it and like just hit the ground running? So I'm going to dive into that with you in the next episode. So I will see you there. If you want more help to build a really successful online business, then come and take our quiz. We're going to ask you a few simple questions and then after that we'll give you a personalized plan for how you can build a really successful business based on where you are at. Go and take it. The link is below and I will see you in the next episode.